Good morning, and thank you for coming to the 19th Annual Resiliency Ring. My name is Dannemiller. I'm graduating from high school in North Canton this month, and I'm so honored to be able to share my story with you today. When I think of my childhood, one of the most distinct memories is how I would copy the mannerisms and speech patterns of those around me, grasping to find some way to be seen as normal. The problem that was in copying others, I avoided becoming my own person. And through my masking, I missed being diagnosed with autism at a younger age, which is an unfortunately common experience for autistic girls. As I transitioned into middle school, my differences became more apparent to myself and to others. The pain of not being understood, combined with the onset of physical pain, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, created a world where I was trapped, alone, understood by no one, not even myself. As my Ehlers-Danlos symptoms began to make themselves more and more apparent and intrusive, my mental state declined. By the end of middle school, I just didn't know what to do with my own suffering, and I got myself into trouble by seeking help from other children, oftentimes children who had no idea how to respond besides taking action rather than just listening or being present, which is what I was looking for. Suddenly, I would find myself awoken by sirens in the night for wellness checks or even hospitalization. And while others did too much for my pain, I began a habit of shoving things down. Because of the traumatic nights woken up by the police and terrifying visits to the hospital, I still and probably always will tense up and begin to hyperventilate when I hear a siren. When I began high school, I found myself completely unprepared to feel the unpleasant sensations exacerbated by the new stress of high school. I couldn't tell the difference between an emotion and a physical sensation, much less how to identify which one I was feeling. And this sense of desperation led me to find a release, oftentimes through causing myself physical pain in order to release the tension burning in me that I could not identify. My confusion around my feelings, combined with my pre existing mental health conditions, spun a world of darkness and a tunnel with no end in sight. I felt like there was no escape, so I attempted to make my own several times. Towards the end of my sophomore year, I began to embrace my power and take my life back into my own hands. That's when I was met with support systems that I have now. It was like I could finally stop drowning long enough to learn how to swim. That's when I found Ohio Rise. Thanks to Ohio Rise, I was able to receive Medicaid, which allowed me to access the necessary medical care that has greatly contributed to my recovery from suicidal ideation and self harm. Even with two parents working full time as part of the working class, I would never be able to afford the excessive cost of medical treatment for my mental and physical health conditions. And that's the whole purpose of Ohio Rise. It's for the people who feel stuck, not poor enough to get help from the government and not rich enough to be able to help yourself. Also, with the support of Ohio Rise, I gained access to flex funds, addressing more tangible, immediate needs like acquiring a laptop for my online education and other assistive technology suitable to my needs and support plan within my yearly budget. Despite ongoing adjustments, the assistance provided shows Ohio Rise's commitment to improving the lives of individuals who face challenges with mental health, drug addiction, disability, homelessness, or juvenile detention. Ohio Rise's assistance not only granted me access to vital health care through Medicaid, but also alleviated the financial strain associated with managing my medical conditions, which really made all the difference in my recovery. Even more than that, joining the youth council at Ohio Rise gave me a place to help other youth in an environment where I felt supported and comfortable. As I reflect upon my life to this point, I have a lot to be grateful for. I'm grateful for the resources that I was given, the support of my friends and family, and the opportunities I have been able to take advantage of. Just as I am grateful for these things, I'm equally proud of all the work I have put in and all the things I have done to help others. I have added input to the action of the world of disability and mental health advocacy. I write professionally. I am on the Ohio Rise Youth Advisory Council, and I've gotten into public speaking, one of my biggest fears, because I have so much to say beyond what I'm able to reach with written journalism. I wish I had someone who was not afraid to be like me, someone who would stand with me and while I was enduring my childhood and early teen years. And it's really amazing to see organizations like NAMI Ohio Youth Move and Ohio Rise reaching more people than ever before. As I stand before you, I urge you to know that change is needed. You are needed. Beyond simple change in legislation and procedure, there must be a change in the attitude to which we approach things that make us uncomfortable. We must change the way that we view ourselves within the equation of mental health, not just as people to take action, but as people to be present listeners to those with firsthand experience. As I close the speech, I encourage every person to consider the youth around you, the youth who are struggling, the youth who are in inconceivable pain, and the youth that are dying before your very eyes. Awareness is the first step, but they deserve more. They deserve justice. I thank you all for listening, for the action that you will take, and for your continued support. The youth of Ohio are in your hands.